I used baby double knit wool. I'm not allowed to show the make of the wool, but it's a Turkish wool. It's quite thinner than a double knit, not too much thinner, but make sure you can crochet with a 3mm needle. I'm going to start, but in the video, for the purpose of making the video, I'm going to do it with sport weight wool and a 2.5mm needle. Now let us start. We start by making a slip knot and pull through. It's our first chain. We are going to make 127 chains. Okay, now we keep this straight and then slip stitch in the end to form a very large ring. Now this, if you slip stitch here, you can fit it around your little one's waist, because this is the waist length or the waist width. And we will continue making 1, 2, 3 chains, and then in each of these stitches we make a treble. There's my first one. Second one. And number 3. This is my 127th treble. Now you will see, because you made a slip stitch into the first stitch, there's another stitch, so we are going to make 128 trebles. Now the 128th one would look like this. And the first 3 stitches also count as the first treble. Make sure at this stage that you've crocheted 128 stitches. Then you have to slip stitch into the 3rd stitch of the first 3 chains and continue making again your first 3 chains, and then work 1 treble into each treble, and in a total you should work 5 rows. Now this is the beginning of the 2nd row, and you will have to work 5 rows. This pattern is very versatile. You can either work here, if you think the skirt is too short, you can work 8 rows even, but I work 5 for this pattern, just to keep it like the one that is on the photo in the beginning. Now we are at the 6th row. We do 1, 2, 3, 4 chains, then we skip the first or the second one, we skip 1 stitch, and into the next one a treble, and then 1 stitch, skip 1, in the next one a treble. And I'm going to do it for the last time. There's 1 chain, skip 1 stitch, 1 treble, right around the row. This is the end of this first row of the next type of pattern. So it's the 6th row. We're just going to close this row off, and now we start by making 1, 2, 3, 4. The beginning is just the same as the 6th row. Okay, now it's 1 chain, 1 treble, one chain, and again one treble. Now there's 1, 2, 3 holes, and the fourth one you make 2 chains and 1 treble. Now this is the repeat, so it's 1 chain, 1 treble, 3 times. This is 2 times and 3. So it's 3 holes with only 1 chain in it, and the fourth one gets 2 chains. And there you go. I've made the 3 blocks with only 1 chain in between, so I have to close with 2 chains. Now whenever I close with 2 chains, I only crochet 1 and then end in this one, and that would create my second chain. Now in the third row of blocks we will start off by doing again 4 chains, a treble, and now every second block will have 2 chains and a treble. Next one is 1 chain, 1 treble. The next one will have 2 chains in between and 1 treble. 1 in the and a slip stitch, which will make the second chain. The fourth row of blocks we start with 3, 4, 5 chains and a treble. Now these are going to be all of them 2 chains in between, right around. We close this row exactly as the previous one. It's 1 chain and then 1 slip stitch into the third chain. Now we will be starting the next row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chains and a treble into the next treble, and 1, 2 chains, treble in the next one, and here's a little bit different, 2 chains, treble into the same treble. Now 1, 2, and here we go again into the next treble, and 1, 2, next treble, 1, 2, next one, 1, 2, and here in the next one we will make 2 chains, treble into the same treble, and this is the repeat. So there should be 1, 2, 3, 4 holes and a group. I call it the treble group. We are ending this exactly the same as the previous row. 1 chain, 1 slip stitch into the third chain, and now it is again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 treble in here, and then 1, 2 stitches, 2 chains, and in this group you skip this. In the group it is 1, 2 trebles and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chains. In the same space another 2 trebles, and then 1, 2 chains, skip this, and a treble into that one, 1, 2 chains, treble into the next, 1, 2 chains, treble into the next, and 1, 2. Now we are going to repeat from here. Again, we end by making 1 chain, 1, 2, in the 3rd chain we slip stitch. We start off by making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chains, a treble, and now 2 chains, and in this 5 chain space we make 9 trebles. So there's 1, 4, 8 and 9. 2 chains and skip these 2 and that space into the treble there. You make your treble, and 2 chains, treble into next treble, 2 chains again, treble into next treble, and 2 chains, and repeat. We close this round by making 1 chain and a slip stitch into the 3rd chain. Here we make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chains and a treble into the exact same chain. Then we make 1, 2 chains, and from here on we skip that 1 chain, a treble, 1 chain, treble into the next one, 1 chain, treble. Now we make 2 chains, and in the center one we work a treble, 2 chains, and in the same one a treble, and again. Now we start to repeat at the end of this row, and again in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd stitch I make a slip stitch, then another one inside here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a treble, and 1, 2 stitches, and in the 1st space either somebody call it a single crochet and others call it a double crochet, and then 1, 2, 3 chains, and in every 1 chain space you make either a single or a double crochet, and 1, 2, 3 in the next one, right. You should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 3 chain spaces. Then it is 1, 2 chains, and in here the same thing then in the previous row, a treble, 2 chains and a treble, and you repeat the pattern until the end. This row ends 1 chain and a slip stitch into the 3rd chain. We slip stitch again into the space, make 1, 2, 3 chains. Now here we're going to make a double treble group, and please people, in some countries it's called a treble, in some a double crochet. Just follow what you see. 2 chains and again 2 trebles, and then 1, 2 stitches, and here in each group, in each 3 chain space you make a double crochet, 3 chains, double crochet, and so on. When you get here, it's 2 chains, and the same, the repeat of the pattern starts here. 1, 2 trebles, 1, 2 chains, and 2 trebles. We close this round by making 1 chain and slip stitch in the 3rd chain. Then we slip stitch across the treble and into the 2 chain stitch. We make 1, 2, 3 chains, and now we are going to make 3 treble groups into the same space. And another 1, 2, and now we are going to make 1, 2 chains, and again double crochet, 1, 2, 3, double crochet into the next space, 1, 2, 3, double crochet into the next one,
into the next.
we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 3 chain spaces, and now it is 1, 2 chains, and again here we are going to make 3 groups of trebles into the same space. So we start repeating the pattern from here on. we make one chain, slip stitch into the third chain, and here we have to cut our thread, pull through, and I always pull this one. It's kind of difficult in front of the camera, be patient with me. You pull through. Right, now we are going to work every single pineapple pattern separately. So what we do is we will attach our thread to the right hand side of a pineapple. What I do is I hook it through and then knot it. And then start crocheting. So 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to crochet that in. And now it is 1, 2, and we are going to make the 3 chain spaces, but one less than in the previous row over this pineapple. And here it's 2, and then a shell or a to turn, we turn our work, we make a slip stitch into the second one and into the 3 chain space, and then again, here we go again, back. Exactly the same than in the previous row, except the 3 chain spaces or one less. And now again our shell. And again turn around, one slip stitch into there and in the 3 chain, and now you repeat until there's only one 3 chain space left. We do the shell pattern on the end. And then we make 2 chains and a double treble, and we work it 2 at a time. And we close our round. And please people, if this is going too fast for you, there's a little button on the right hand side where you can slow it down and you can watch it in slow motion. Now we turn it around again, we slip stitch again, like all the previous rounds. We do the shell pattern again, 2 trebles, 2 chains and 2 trebles again. Oops, this is not good. Okay, above this we are only going to make 2 chains and then another treble group or a shell pattern at the end. This is how it should look. We are going to turn around again, and it's advisable whenever you have a pattern like this to turn it around. If you start from the bottom, turning it around clockwise, keep on turning it around clockwise. If you start anti-clockwise, keep it anti-clockwise. It's just a good habit to learn. Right, this will be the last round. It's only the 2 shell patterns with nothing in between them. So we complete the first shell. And then nothing, no chains in between. We bring the 2 ends together now. And this will finish our first pineapple pattern. We cut our thread here. Sorry, I bumped the camera. Okay, you complete all the others in the same way. Oh, just a quick reminder. We've started on this side. So this is the front side of the pattern, and that would be the back side. So I usually go anti-clockwise. I will start by attaching my thread on this side. Okay, when you finished crocheting all the pineapple patterns, you attach the wool into this side, and again I attach it with a knot, and then we start excuse me, making 1, 2, 3. The only difference is now that whenever you made the 2 trebles, you're going to make 1, 2, 3 chains, and I hope this is clear. In those 2, you hook it through all 3 and then make your 2 trebles again. Okay, now the next one, exactly the same. Two trebles and 1 picot, 3 chains, put it through there, and 2 trebles. Now you're going to make the next one in here.
Again the same thing.
Okay, so it was 1, 2, 3. Now you skip that one, and in there is your next one. From here on, skip this row, and you work in that row. second row from that one. Skip that one. In this one, make 1, 2 trebles, and then your ordinary picot, and skip, you work in that one, the first turn row from the previous row. You complete your group over this one, and now it's the same. Skip that one, skip this one, you work in this one, the 2 trebles and picot and 2 trebles. Skip this one, in this one, the third row from the top. And again, the same. Now you first work at the side of the top 2 rows. First on the side, you work your ordinary 2 treble picot group, and then in this 3 chain space and in that one. So let's continue, and then it's repeat, because remember we started here on the previous pineapple. And in this 3 chain space, once you've worked around this, right around all the pineapple marks, I just want to show you this is how it looks. I'm here at the last one. All that is left now is to make our last group on the side of the top row. So here we go, 1, 2, 3 chains and the picot slip stitch and 2 more trebles, and to close it in the 3rd stitch from, and cut your thread and pull through, and I always push it through again, hook it and pull it through. Okay, and work away the zillions of threads, and then we want to make the cord. I'm just going to show you that I've made the cord. This is another video of mine that I made. You can just crochet a simple cord, or you can make one like this. I start where this one is, the beginning, push it in like that, then hook it, and it takes quite a pull to get it through. And so you can even put this into a embroidery needle, but I keep on hooking the thing, missing it. Perhaps it's because it's in front of the camera, I don't know. Don't usually have that trouble. But I think you get the idea. You skip one. And then hook it through. I leave a tail of about, what is this, about 15 to 17 centimeters to make the bow. Once you threaded your cord, tie a bow and make a knot here and cut the thread.